Okay, so get this, right? We've got like a mountain of Serie A match reports here. And wow, it looks like this past weekend was absolutely bonkers.
Yeah, it was pure chaos. Goals galore, upsets, drama, you name it.
It's going to be a wild ride breaking this all down, huh? Get ready for some serious tactical analysis, stunning goals, and maybe even a red card or two. You ready to dive in?
Oh, absolutely. This weekend had it all. Buckle up because we're going deep. This is going to have a massive impact on the rest of the season.
Okay, so first let's zoom out, big picture. The standings at the top, they're super tight right now, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure. The title race is really heating up now.
Mm-hmm.
Napoli, well, they just about held on to their lead, but it wasn't easy.
Yeah, I saw that 3-2 win over Atalanta. Nail biter.
It really was. And Inter Milan, they're right on Napoli's heels after that convincing 3-1 win against Empoli.
Right. And didn't you say they still have a game in hand?
Oh, yeah, they do. They do. So, things could really shift quickly at the top. But the real shocker this weekend,
Mm.
got to be Como, 1907.
Toma!
Yeah. Newly promoted this season, and they just pulled off an incredible 4-1 upset over Udinese.
Wow, talk about an underdog story. Definitely a team to watch.
Okay, so let's rewind back to some of those matches that really had everyone talking. First up, that Atalanta versus Napoli game. You mentioned it was a close one, so walk us through that dramatic finish. Oh man, it was a back and forth match all the way. Atalanta, they came out strong right out of the gate, taking an early lead with a beautiful goal from Retegui.
I saw that, yeah.
But Napoli, they showed real grit. Battled back to equalize through Palatano.
And the momentum just kept swinging back and forth.
Brutally.
Right.
Both teams had chances. Then Lookman, he managed to tie it up for Atalanta late in the game. It was looking like a draw, but then, boom, Lukaku, he just, he rose above everyone and headed in the winner in like the 78th minute.
Yeah, what a header.
It was something else.
Mm-hmm.
Shows you what Napoli's made of. They can handle pressure, even when things get tough, they find a way.
It definitely seemed like they had to dig deep for that one. What impressed you the most about their performance? Was it just pure resilience, or is there something more to it?
Honestly, I think their tactical flexibility really stood out. They adapted to the situation like chameleons. You know what I mean?
Like they shifted their strategy throughout the game.
Exactly. They absorbed Atalanta's pressure early on, then switched to a more counterattacking style. And then when they needed to, they just took control, dominated possession, dictated the pace.
And wasn't McTominay a big part of that? I know some fans were skeptical when Napoli signed him, but he's really proving his worth, isn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. I mean,
Yeah.
he brought real energy to their midfield. He's not just breaking up plays, he's actually launching attacks too.
Yeah.
Really versatile player.
Yeah.
Allows Napoli to switch formations smoothly. A real tactical asset, yeah.
And proving those Gouters wrong. All right, let's move on to Juventus versus AC Milan. This one felt like a real tactical chess match, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. It was a real battle of wits, especially that first half.
So like defensively focused.
Totally. Juventus were so disciplined, so compact, they just completely shut down Milan's creativity in the midfield. They closed down space, forced turnovers. I mean, Milan could barely get a shot off in those first 45 minutes.
It was all Juventus, wasn't it?
It really was. Then, boom, second half, Timothy Wade takes over.
2 goals, including that amazing solo effort. I mean, he just weaved through Milan's defense like they weren't even there. What did you think, huh? Was that pure individual talent, or was there something more going on tactically?
I think it was a bit of both, I mean, Weah was on fire, incredible pace, skill, just ice cold in front of goal. That second goal was world class. But you have to give credit to Juventus as well. They made some clever adjustments in the second half.
Like what?
Well, they started pressing higher up the pitch, forcing Milan into those costly mistakes. And that gave Weah more space to work his magic, and boy, did he ever.
It was his game for sure.
Definitely a turning point for Juventus, this win. Back in the race for a top 4 finish, for sure.
I think a lot of people had written them off early on, but now it seems like they're really finding their groove. Speaking of surprises, we have to talk about Como 1907. Nobody expected them to dismantle Udinese like that.
Yeah, that was a proper statement win for Como. A real shock to the system for Udinese, too. They came out flying, full of energy and purpose.
I mean, 2 goals in the first half.
Yeah, Diao and Strefezza, they were on fire. Diao's been in fantastic form all season, and Strefezza, he was a constant threat, just causing all sorts of problems for that Udinese defense.
Sounds like they had a plan.
He definitely did. Things got a bit crazy, though, when both teams went down to 10 men. Goldniga for Como and then Celeb for Udinese both got red cards.
You'd think would have slowed the game down, but it sounds like things actually got even wilder.
Oh yeah, Como didn't let up at all. They just kept attacking.
So what? They scored even more with only 10 men.
Exactly. An own goal from Udinese's Biol added to their tally. Then Paz, he put the icing on the cake with like a fourth goal. Just a phenomenal performance from Como.
So what does this win say about Como's potential this season? I mean, can they really keep this up?
Well, they've certainly got the potential to be like a real dark horse this season.
Mm-hmm.
They're not just defending, they're playing exciting attacking football. Solid tactics, real belief in themselves. And they're not afraid of anyone.
That much is clear. Now let's turn our attention to Inter's 3-1 victory over Empoli. Inter looked dominant, especially in that second half, but Empoli, they made them work for it. Can you break down how that match played out?
It was a real tale of two halves. Empoli really frustrated Inter in that first half. They were organized, compact, made it really tough for Inter to break through.
But Inter's quality eventually shone through, right?
It did. Second half, they turned it on. Martinez finally got the breakthrough. A beautiful goal, showcased his clinical finishing.
He's a natural goal scorer, that guy.
Absolutely. And then you had Dumfries, usually known for his defense, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, he pops up with a powerful header from a corner, proving he could be a threat in attack, too.
I was going to say, a defender scoring. What a bonus. And even though Esposito got one back for Empoli, what a story that is, on loan from Inter Thuram, sealed the deal with a late goal. Does this win keep Inter in the running for the title?
No doubt about it. Inter are a serious contender this season. They've got depth, a world-class manager, and they can score from anywhere. They're hungry for that title, and I think they're going to push Napoli all the way. Now let's jump over to Lazio's impressive 3-0 victory over Hellas Verona. They were on fire, weren't they?
They looked amazing. What stood out to you about their performance?
They were so sharp tactically, aggressive, purposeful, right from the first whistle.
I saw that early goal from Gigot. What a header.
It was a beauty, from corner kick no less. Set the tone perfectly. They just dominated possession after that. Controlled the tempo of the game. Their midfield was dictating everything. And Guendouzi, he was outstanding. Pulling the strings, vision, passing range, the whole package.
And then you had Dia's goal. That was pure magic.
It really was. Received this perfect pass from Guendouzi and then just danced through the Verona defense. They didn't stand a chance. What a player.
And then Zaccagni scoring against his old club.
Always adds an extra layer to it, doesn't it?
It does. And you have to give him credit. He apologized to the Verona fans after scoring.
Mm-hmm.
Class act. Okay, for our last deep dive in this section, let's head over to Cagliari. They pulled off a pretty incredible comeback victory against Lecce. 4-1 was the final score, but it wasn't exactly straightforward, right?
No, not at all. Lecce were actually winning at halftime.
Really?
Yep. Pirati put them ahead just before the break. Looked like they might pull off an upset.
But then I'm guessing things changed in the second half.
Oh, yeah. Big time. Cagliari came out with a real fire in their bellies. Then, boom, turning point. Rebic gets a red card for violent conduct.
Ouch. That'll change a game.
It absolutely did, and Cagliari took full advantage. Gaetano, he scores this screamer from distance to equalize. Then Luperto puts them ahead.
So they just ran away with it after that red card.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Lecce were down to 10 men. Cagliari took control. Zortea, he scores with a header. And then Obert, well, he just caps off a fantastic comeback with another brilliant goal.
Wow, what a turnaround.
It really was. Shows you what a difference a red card can make, eh?
Cagliari have been, inconsistent this season, but this win definitely shows their potential. Do you think they can build on this? Maybe climb up the table?
Well, they've got the talent, that's for sure.
Yeah.
This win will be a massive confidence boost. And if they can keep up this intensity, this attacking mindset, they could be a problem for a lot of teams.
Okay, so on to those draws we were going to discuss. We had Parma versus Venezia, and then Fiorentina versus Torino, both ending 1-1.
Draws don't always have to be boring, though.
That's true.
This Parma-Venezia match, Hernani, he was the star, scored an absolute rocket from way outside the box to level the score.
I love those.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And that was after Venezia took the lead early on through Poyampalo.
So a real battle of the goal scorers then.
Yeah, pretty much. But it was more than just the goals, Poyampalo, he was a real handful for Parma's defense. Such a physical presence. Great in the air.
And what about Parma? Aside from that screamer from Hernani, was there anything else going on?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Giordano Sorio, rock solid at the back. Fantastic defensive performance. Kept Venezia quiet for most of the match. It was a really interesting tactical battle, to be honest.
Okay, so even though it was a draw, it sounds like there were still some really great individual performances. Now, what about Fiorentina versus Torino? Was that match as intense?
I'd say it was a different kind of match, more of a midfield battle, you know.
Okay, I see.
Yeah, both sides really well organized defensively, made it really hard to break through. Fiorentina did manage to take the lead early in the second half, though. Yassine Adli, what a goal. Absolute thunderbolt from distance.
Sounds painful for the goalkeeper.
Yeah, no chance he was saving that one. But Torino, they fought back. Classic Sanabria header to equalize.
Sanabria, he's got quite the reputation for his aerial ability, doesn't he?
Oh, he's a menace in the air, that's for sure. And his movement and the box is top-notch. Fiorentina, I think they'll be kicking themselves for not dealing with him better on that set piece.
Yeah, a missed opportunity, perhaps.
But, I mean, Fiorentina had their moments too, right? Colpani, he was dictating their play in midfield, created a couple of good chances, but Torino's defense, they held firm. Milinkovic, as reliable as ever. So, in the end, probably a fair result, the draw.
Makes sense. Okay, so two pretty different draws then, each with their own unique story. Let's shift gears to a more decisive result now, shall we? Bologna. They had a solid 3-1 win over Monza.
Yeah, they're starting to find their form, for sure.
They are.
It wasn't all plain sailing, though. They actually conceded first. Maldini, he put Monza ahead early on.
Oh, so they had to come from behind.
They did. And they showed great character to do it, too. Castro got the equalizer, really composed finish, showed his experience there. Then Odgaard, he put them in front. A powerful header, another set-piece goal.
So those set pieces, seems like we're seeing a lot of them today. So they turned things around completely, took control after that early setback.
Yeah, they did. Dominated the midfield, created chances, looked solid defensively, especially once they had the lead. And then Orsolini, he put the cherry on top of the third goal late on. Really deserved win for Bologna, I'd say.
They're a team to keep an eye on, for sure. Okay, let's move on to AS Roma. They had a fairly comfortable 3-1 win over Genoa.
Yeah, Roma have been pretty impressive this season, haven't they?
Yeah, quietly going about their business. What did you see in this match? Were they just too strong for Genoa, or was there something special about their performance?
They were clinical. Took their chances, controlled the game well.
Sounds like a solid performance.
Dybala got things started early on, did what he does best, curled one in from just outside the box. Classic Dybala.
I've seen a few of those over the years.
The keeper had no chance, really. And then Abraham, he added a second with a well-taken header. Paredes with the assist. He was pulling the strings in midfield, Great passing, vision. He was dictating the tempo.
So it wasn't just about the goal scorers then?
No, definitely not. They were solid defensively, too. Smalling, he was immense. Genoa did manage to pull one back through Goodmanson, but by then, it was too little, too late.
Roma, they just look so confident this season, don't they?
They do. So, we've gone through all these matches now, right? Is there anything in particular that stood out to you, tactically? Or maybe a specific player's performance you think our listeners should be paying attention to?
That's a good question. What do you think?
Honestly, the one thing that's really jumped out at me this weekend is the impact of set pieces. We've seen a few crucial goals from corners and free kicks. I think it highlights just how important it is to be well-drilled defensively on set pieces, but also how important it is to be able to exploit them going forward.
That's a great point. It's often those little details, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, those set pieces, you can't underestimate them, can you? It could be the difference between winning and losing.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Every detail matters in this game. All right. We've talked about all the key moments from this weekend, right? But I bet our listeners are dying to know, the big question. Who do you think will actually lift the Serie A trophy at the end of the season?
The million-dollar question, huh?
It is. And honestly, it's way too early to say for sure. This season, it's a roller coaster.
I know, right? So many twists and turns already. So unpredictable. But let's speculate a bit. Who are your top contenders right now, and what makes them stand out?
Okay, if I had to put my money on someone right now, I'd probably still go with Napoli.
Yeah, makes sense.
They're top of the table for a reason, Got a solid squad. They just know how to get results even when they're not playing their best football.
They've definitely got that winning mentality. But who do you think is their biggest threat?
Well, Inter Milan, they're right up there, playing some really impressive stuff under their new manager. And they've got that game in hand, remember?
Right.
And of course, you can never rule out Juventus.
They're always there, aren't they?
Yeah. They had a bit of a shaky start, but they're starting to click now. and they've got the experience, the quality. They're a real threat.
So it's a three-horse race then.
Not so fast. Don't forget about Lazio.
Oh, yeah, Lazio. They've been quietly putting together a really impressive season, haven't they?
They have. They have. Playing some beautiful football, and they believe they can win it. They're not afraid of anyone.
They're definitely a dark horse. And what about Roma? I mean, they've been a bit inconsistent, but they've had moments of brilliance too.
Yeah, Roma are always dangerous. They've got the firepower to beat anyone on their day. Look, this season's wide open. There are going to be more twists and turns, believe me.
I love it. It's what makes Serie A so exciting. So you're saying any of these five teams could realistically win the title?
Oh, absolutely. Every match matters. Every point is crucial. And any team can beat any other team on their day. That's what makes it so exciting, right? It's going to be a wild ride all the way to the finish line.
Well, you've definitely given our listeners plenty to think about, that's for sure. This has been a fantastic deep dive into the world of Serie A. Thanks for joining us and sharing your expertise.
Always a pleasure. I love talking Serie A, and this weekend was, well, it's one for the books.
And to all our listeners out there, thanks for joining us for another thrilling journey through the world of Italian football. We'll catch you next time for more tactical breakdowns, more goals, and of course, more drama.